Hey everyone. So this particular lecture is kind of how to take the different pieces from the module and to use them for the first week or two. So what I need you to do first, if you haven't already done it, is to watch the Perfect Places video. And there's a link to it in the module. You can find it on YouTube. And that's like, 4 minutes, 3 minutes? It's not that long. And then something that's even shorter is there's a pitchfork review of the video that I'd like you to check out. The very, very first written assignment that I'm going to have you do in the discussion part of the course is to watch the video and to look for some tensions that you see in the video. And by tensions, I mean it's always going to be blank versus blank. And these things are going to be in opposition to one another. So old versus new, small versus large, loud versus quiet, those sort of things. You can look at the tensions in the music itself, in the lyrics, in the video. You can compare the three. It's kind of up to you. Okay? So, for example, when I saw the video, well, the very first thing that I thought of was developing world. Like there's this first scene where Lord is going through what looks like some kind of agricultural field. It's like sorghum or something, and she has this sort of Vietnamese hat on, and I don't know what she's trying to do. So it looks like she's in Vietnam. So developing world versus developed world. This is a tension that I sort of kept in mind the entire time. Another tension might be perfection versus imperfection. Okay, so I want you to write a couple of those, 3 of them at least, and then post it. And then you can see once you post what everyone else has to say. Why? Why do I care? Well, one of the reasons I care is because out of these tensions, a thesis can develop. So if you were to look at this review on Pitchfork, it takes like 2 seconds. It's like 2 paragraphs long. You'll see that the reviewer, whoever it is, I don't remember, chooses this tension right here and creates a thesis out of it. And that thesis is the following. Imperfection is always a virtue in Lord's world. It's the very first, at the music review, you don't have to do a long introduction. So it's the very first sentence in the review, and then it sort of creates a theme for the whole review that he or she keeps coming back to. So this is just one way to get a thesis. You can get it by any number of ways, but the idea is you find a tension, and then out of that tension, you get a good thesis. It's a way of launching off into your thesis. So, I'm going to take mine, the first one there, and I'm going to give you a possible structure for the paper. And each rectangle is going to not be a paragraph, but it could represent the different sections of the paper. So it could be like maybe 2 paragraphs or 1 paragraph or 3 paragraphs. Okay, so let's see here. So I'm going to start off. And as always, we have to have our little introduction. And it doesn't have to be that long, but a couple of things that you might do there is talk about some of the bio facts about this musician, what albums, what hits they've had, is this their first hit, how did it do on the charts, where their music fits in genre-wise, do people consider it R&B, do they consider it more rap, that sort of thing, up till now. And then after that, remember, this one's going to be my thing I'm going to play around with. So I'm interested in how she depicts the developing world in this video. It's very perfect, no trash, no other people, certainly no natives. It's all scenery. It looks like paradise. And I'm going to talk about maybe why that's a problem. So in this paragraph, I might talk about third world as paradise. And then I might talk in the following paragraph about does she realize this? Does she realize that she's creating this like weird pseudo non-existent place? And I'm going to argue, because this is supposed to be an argument, she does realize what she's doing. And I'm going to show from the video where I think she indicates that she's depicting these places in an over-perfect way. So, intro, bio stuff, then how she depicts it, showing evidence from the text. Then I'm going to interpret that. It's kind of a paradise, this weird primitive world where there's no technology and there's no pollution. And it's super unrealistic. But then she realizes that she's doing that. And then my last big major point is, so she realizes she does it, and she doesn't think it's a very good thing. But what about the developing world? Why depict it? So we never actually get to see the real people who live in these places. It remains, even though she kind of says these perfect places are screwed up, she never shows us the real place. It's like either the image, the false image, or nothing. And I'm going to talk about like what problems might be involved in that. Okay, this is just my paper. This is 1 in a million possible structures. You don't even have to pay that much attention. But what I do want you to see is how me coming up with this tension here helps me write a paper that remains focused on this kind of one theme. And I'm not all over the place. You know, that's the thing I notice the most about these music reviews that you write, is that you talk about one thing here and one thing, and there's no overall coherence to the music review. You kind of go all over the place. So this is one way, and only one way, to get you coherence. There's other ways that we can talk about. You don't have to do this. Okay, good luck. Watch the video, post the tensions, Take 5 seconds and read this, see how it relates to that, and we're off to a good start.